Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's Asana Lab is on the 3 foundational heart openers, Sphinx, Cobra, and Upward Facing Dog. For those of you who aren't familiar with me, I'm Ariel. Welcome to my channel, and we talk about all things yoga and wellness. So let's break down these 3 poses. I know that there's some confusion between Cobra and Upward Facing Dog, and I often see this hybrid of them, so I really want to inform you of the difference, and also so you can choose the best pose for yourself and your back in the vinyasas. You don't have to do Upward Facing Dog if it doesn't work for your body. You can do Cobra or Sphinx instead. So let's get started. There are some principles that apply to all 3 of these poses. In fact, all back bends. The first principle is that we want the shoulder blades down the back, and we want to think of opening from the heart, not bending from the low back or compressing the low back. The second principle is we want our legs active. Active legs means we're protecting the low back. So in all 3 of these poses, you want to reach through the heels and press down through the toes. And I'll show you what I mean when I actually do the poses. So shoulder blades down the back, reach through the heels, activate the legs. Lastly, we want to really bring the heart through the gateway of the collarbones. So we don't want to keep our back behind or our chest behind us. We want to bring it forward, and we want to keep the elbows into the rib cage, because if they don't, they'll move up and you'll see what happens to your shoulders. So we want to keep them in. So let's actually do a little exercise to show us how that feels, how the gateway of the heart actually opens. I'm going to ask you to bring your arms to cactus arms and just inhale. Bring the shoulders up by the ears for a moment and notice what happens to your elbows and notice how that feels. Because this is all about finding a way to feel really good in the poses. And now exhale, bring the shoulder blades down the back and squeeze them in the center and notice how that opens your heart. Feels really good. Try it again. I'm going to turn around so you can see me do it. Inhale, bring the shoulders up by the ears. Exhale, squeeze down the back. That feels so good. And so these cactus arms are actually a really nice way to warm yourself up for back bending. So let's come to Sphinx pose first, and you can enter Sphinx from turbo plank, which is a nice way to get into it. And I will say that with all of these, if you want to really find that activation in the legs, it can be good to have a block between the legs. So we will bring our forearms to the earth, and we're going to measure shoulder width apart. And then we're going to stretch our left leg back and then our right. And we're going to pull the shoulder blades down the back, activate our core, and press through our heels. Really press. Press, press, press. Now drop the hips to the earth. And if you feel like your shoulders are over your elbows, they shouldn't be, walk yourself back. Squeeze that block. So your elbows will be diagonally in front of your shoulders. Squeezing the block, you're really going to press down through the tops of the feet and feel the heels come in towards each other. And now pull the shoulder blades down the back. Feel the collarbones widen and the heart reach through. So legs flat on the earth here, forearms on the earth. And we're just finding those principles, feeling the elbows come in. As you bring the elbows off the ground, if you're ever instructed to, squeeze them in towards each other. Good. Okay, that's Sphinx. Now for Cobra, we're often instructed to come to it from all fours into a pose called Ashtangasana. So we'll come to all fours. Bring your chest to the earth. Oh, I'm gonna come forward a little bit. Bring your chest to the earth. And then tuck the toes under and slide the legs away. And so your hands should be right under your shoulders. And again, we're gonna activate those legs. Press down for the pinky toe, the big toe, and the heels, as if you're squeezing the block. And now, keeping the elbows into the ribs, peel the heart off the ground and really pull the shoulder blades down the back. You should not have a lot of weight in the hands. Press down through those feet. And then come down. Now, depending on your back bend, your cobra may be high or your cobra may be low. All cobras are created equally, okay? It doesn't matter how high you get your chest. What matters is really keeping that alignment of opening the heart. See, the minute I flare the elbows, now I'm rounding. So keep that in alignment. And just enjoy what your heart opener is. Now, upward facing dog is the one that I see people doing incorrectly the most. And maybe they get confused between cobra and upward facing dog. So remember, cobra is with the legs on the ground. Upward facing dog is with the legs off the ground. So we often enter upward facing dog from our vinyasa, from plank to chaturanga to upward facing dog. We're gonna just do a little trick to find it, and then I'll show you it from the vinyasa. So upward facing dog, you're going to set up as if you're coming to your cobra. So you can come onto the belly, but you're gonna tuck your toes under. Again, the hands are under the shoulders, and you're gonna lift those legs for a moment. From here, we're gonna scooch our hips forward by using our toes. So now our shoulders are a bit in front of our wrists, and now we're gonna untuck the toes, activate the legs, squeeze those heels in, press down through the pinky toe and the big toe, and reach the heels away. And now we're gonna peel the heart off the ground. In upward facing dog, the arms are straight. And now activate your legs. And I could even use to be forward some more. There we go. Activate the legs, lift up, shoulder blades down the back. And now activate the legs. Really reach. Okay. So what I see people doing a lot is this for upward facing dog. Their shoulders are, or their chest is back, not through the gateway of the collarbones, and their elbows are flaring, and their legs are still on the ground. Ouch. Ouch. I always want to give people a big hug after that because it must hurt. I want you to do this pose so it doesn't hurt. It's actually amazing. It feels so good once you really find all of that stretch and length, okay? Lastly, I'll show you the transition from chaturanga to upward facing dog. And the important piece here is don't dip down to come up. You want to keep the alignment of chaturanga because it's actually setting you up for a beautiful upward facing dog. So don't dip down. See a lot of people doing that little dip to come up. It's like a little dance move. All right, so from plank, I'm gonna step back a little bit so I have some room here. Plank, shoulders over the wrists, and we're coming onto our toes here. Pull the shoulder blades down the back, chaturanga. I'm gonna keep my back in one straight line to come up. And then I'll bring myself back. The dip I'm talking about is when I see people come down and they kind of dip down and then do this dive. And you can see that I lose all of that activation when I do that dive. I hope this is helpful. Please write any questions you have for me in the comments below, and also any suggestions for any poses you would like me to do an Asana Lab on. And also just share any tips or tricks you have for these poses. Other people learn from you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Go practice your Cobra, Up Dog, and Sphinx, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and to click the subscribe button to stay informed of new content. Write in the comments below what pose you would like me to cover in the next Asana Lab.